What is good, YouTube? We are back with another video, and today I'm just gonna be like recapping, I guess, the week two, as we have some limited time mode from Mutt, so that's gonna be playing in the background. But I'm just gonna be over just a little recap of week two in case you missed the game or whatever the case may be. I'm not gonna go over the Giants Washington game, although that is pretty like close to it. Because there's a lot of games I got to get to. But first game we're gonna talk about is Raiders Steelers. Raiders won 26-17, and Raiders are actually like really surprisingly good. I mean, they've always been like good in the past, but just because always been overlooked by the division. But I think this year might actually be the year they go out and do something with the development of Max Crosby. He's been beast, and also with Derek Carr playing out of his mind and all of that. Like, I mean, he had a like small injury, but I'm pretty sure he's just gonna bounce back and do his thing. And the Steelers, I don't really know what to think about them. I mean, they're kind of iffy right now, but the 49ers and Eagles, 17-11, 49ers ended up winning that game. I think the 49ers are okay, but I actually was really surprised by the Eagles because there's some times where the Eagles like just mess themselves over, as some of the teams that I'm about to talk about. But I think the Eagles are going to bounce back. I think the Eagles are actually going to win that division. They just been Jalen Hurts been balling out. Devontae Smith, Jalen Rager, everybody's just been balling on that team. Not going to lie. The next game we got is Browns. Browns win over the Texans 31-21, and the Browns they kind of made some mental mistakes. They didn't, I guess, like start off the way I thought they were gonna. But I guess too, I kind of like, wasn't giving enough credit to the Texans. Like the Texans are like still pretty bad, but like they're like actually like competing with teams, which is kind of crazy. Like just from being Texans, like their organization, the way they just let DeAndre Hopkins go, and their situation with Deshaun Watson. So, I mean, it's only a matter of time before they actually do something, but I think the way they're handling the organization over there and with the resurrection of Tyrod's career, I think they're going to be actually like a really solid team. But, I mean, they got some young pieces and all that, but we'll see how they do. The next game is Broncos 23 over the Jaguars, which they scored 13. I think the Jaguars are honestly going to be the worst team in the NFL just because they have Trevor Lawrence is good. Don't get it wrong. Like he's been throwing dots, but just the thing with him, turnovers, I think it's gonna take a couple of years for him to just develop and limit those turnovers. But I mean, there's not really much they have around him, anyways, though. So he can't really do much. They have a lot of young pieces, so like, maybe in like 2 or 3 years. But as of this season, I don't think they're gonna do as well as people like portray them to be. So yeah, that's that. And the Broncos are actually like really solid. I didn't even talk about the Broncos. The Broncos are actually really solid this year with just them acquiring Teddy Bridgewater. As we're just playing the Broncos right now. But yeah, man, like that Broncos team could be nice. They have DBs all over the field. They actually have good quarterback play. Not saying Drew Lock was bad or anything, but they actually have good quarterback play. So that's definitely a plus. Like definitely. The next game we got is the Panthers and Saints. The Panthers ended up winning that game 26-7, which I was kind of disappointed with the Saints just because they went and just demolished the Packers, which the Packers are like one of the top teams that in the NFL pretty much. At least last year they were like number one in offense and all that. And I don't know. I thought, I mean, it is one game too. You can't really base a whole team off of one game, but the Panthers ended up doing their thing. They took a demanding win over the Saints. So they're gonna go ahead and do what they need to do. The Saints, but the Saints, if they want to do something in the playoffs or make a playoff run and all that, they can't give up 26 to the Panthers. Or maybe I'm just underestimating how good the Panthers are. I don't know. We just gotta see how the season is, but I still do think the Saints are gonna win like a pretty good amount of games. The next game we got is the Rams versus the Colts. The Rams end up winning 27-24, and this was a really good game. They've actually, the whole week was actually a lot of really good games, a lot of close games, a lot of like game winners, kicks, touchdowns, all of that. But this game in particular with the Rams and the Colts, the Rams end up winning, like I said, 27-24. And that Rams team is going to be good. Like, just them picking up Stafford in the offseason is actually one of the best moves that I think is like underrated. I feel like in the NFL, a lot of teams kind of, I wouldn't say have looked over them, but I think Stafford is getting the respect that he is deserving of, especially with him being in a bigger market with LA. He's getting more publicity, and people are starting to look at him like, man, this guy's a stud. So I mean, you can't really do much with that Lions team. So he was one of the only bright spots on that team for like a really long time. But now he's with the LA team. He has a lot of wideouts that are really good. The defense is phenomenal, and all of that. So I do expect him to win a really lot of games. Maybe even make a really good push to the playoffs. Maybe even Super Bowl. Maybe even Super Bowl. But time will tell. The next game we got the Bills over the Dolphins, 35-0. And if y'all watch that game, the Bills just took command of everything they needed to do. It was a curb stomping at that point. But I mean, you can't really blame too much on the zero. Jacoby Brissett is a really good quarterback in the NFL, but you obviously want Tua starting. It's unfortunate they got hurt. His injury is a day-to-day with his I forgot what he injured, but anyways, yeah, he's injured. Oh, his ribs. So hopefully he can come back. Obviously, Tua on the field is like a good Tua. You don't want to see him injured. You want to have everybody playing. But obviously, it's just part of the game, so you just got to deal with it. But yeah, the Bills are really good this year too. The next game we got is the Patriots and the Jets. I think the Patriots have always had the Jets number. Like last year with Sam Darnold, I think we forced him to like 4 interceptions. This year, they got a new quarterback change, and we ended up the defense ended up getting 4 interceptions as well. So there's not really much to say about that. We got the Bears and Bengals. That's a really good game. The Bengals are actually really surprising too, and all that. But I mean, there's not really much to say about that. Buccaneers and Falcons. You already know what the Bucs do every single time. You already know that what the offense does. The defense is actually really, really good though. Like, I'm not saying that it wasn't good before, but if you saw Matt Ryan and everybody else, they saw all the pressure and they were just drifting back trying to throw it to somebody. Like, they had no time in the pocket whatsoever. That D-line was going crazy, and they're just the all-around best team in the NFL right now. Cardinals and Vikings was a really good game too. Like, I mean, I could talk about any of these games, but I mean, all of these games, the Cardinals, Vikings, Seahawks, Titans, Chargers, Cowboys, Ravens, Chiefs, all amazing games, which came down to the wire, and all of those teams are like really, really good. But I mean, we all know what every one of those teams bring to the table. The most surprising win out of these, I feel like, is the Ravens beating the Chiefs. But I guess we got to see. I'm gonna make this episode a little longer for next time, but we're gonna keep this weekly. It is what it is. But guys, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and see y'all next week. So peace out.